Oh man, never a dull moment in cryptocurrency, whether it's the collapse of Terra or mining farms going up in flames, literally and figuratively, and just so much more. My name is Vosk. A little delayed there. You're on the Voskcoin YouTube channel. Today, we're going to jump behind the green screen. I'm just going to try to break down as much crypto news as I can for you in a bite-sized format. You know, it's one of the things we do here. Hope you enjoy it. If you don't, I'm sorry, but that's what we're doing today. So let's go. I'd love to say I have some good news for you today, but to be honest, I kind of don't. So, Bitcoin miner Bitfarms scales back growth plans for 2022 after drop in revenue and net profit. Canada-based Bitcoin miner Bitfarms reported a net income of $5 million in the first quarter of 2022, down by about 50% from the previous quarter. It also announced that it would scale back expansion plans for the rest of the year due to logistics and supply chain issues. And please understand how interesting and critical it is to not only monitor, well, really everything you can in crypto, but especially monitor the moves of Bitcoin mining farms. Bitcoin mining farms are long-term one of the bullish things that you can possibly have when it comes to BTC. So, Bitfarms presented a 33.3% decrease in total revenue compared to last quarter, totaling $40 million. Gross mining margins dropped to 76% compared to 84% in quarter 4, 2021. Bitfarms continued to present profitable results despite the price erosion in Bitcoin. And what a just sad way to say that. Okay, so Lucas said that the company had an edge in the mining industry because of its relatively low operating costs. In quarter 1, 2022, Bitfarms had an average direct cost of $8,700 per Bitcoin mined. As of March 31st, they held 5,244 Bitcoin. 961 of those were mined in the first quarter of this year. Core Scientific, another mining farm which we have toured and shared video footage here on the channel of, which was, very cool experience. Quarter 1 net loss of $466 million and a conservative approach to growth. Core Scientific announced a net loss of $466.2 million in its first quarter. Strong operational and financial foundation gives them the confidence to continue to build out their capacity here at a time where smaller companies may find it increasingly difficult to do so. Levitt, the CEO of Core Scientific, having previously set a goal of reaching a hash rate between 40 and 42 exahash per second, or EH/s. You've seen that before. In 2022, Core Scientific downsized that number to between 30 and 32 in its most recent report. That is a massive reduction, obviously, which is very interesting. They currently own more than 10,000 self-mined Bitcoin, and they have sold digital assets this year, and they will continue to sell, but they also have these large holdings. For me personally, I think they're just going to casually build them up, and they're going to sell the next top, just like everyone hopes to do, or, as close as you can kind of get to that. But there's one other piece of news when it comes to big Bitcoin mining farms. Celsius announced its plans for an IPO of its Bitcoin mining subsidiary. So Celsius Network announced plans to IPO its wholly owned Bitcoin mining subsidiary on Monday. The IPO announcement comes just a few days after the block reported the company had over $500 million sitting in the Anchor protocol. Terra's Anchor protocol had offered yields of up to 20% to depositors before the Terra ecosystem was thrown into disarray. Last week, when its Terra USD, UST, stablecoin depegged from the US dollar, and might I say, very significantly at that. We're going to talk more about Terra here shortly. DeFi lender was left with $35 million bad debt after quoting depeg stablecoins at $1. Welcome to third-party oracles being very important. If you don't know what that is, basically you want outside options feeding you real-time updates, okay, on cryptocurrency prices that basically protect you from having a hard code of $1, even though that coin is no longer worth $1, even though it's supposed to be. DeFi lending protocol Scream kept the price of two unpegged stablecoins hard coded to $1 on their platform. users borrowed other stablecoins on the cheap, leaving the DeFi lender with 35 million in bad debt. Oh man, Scream, a DeFi, decentralized finance lending protocol, and Phantom, another blockchain network, has incurred 35 million in bad debt because they failed to adjust the price of these two stablecoins. These two stablecoins are not, one of them being UST, which I imagine you would guess. It's Phantom USD, basically the Phantom dollar, and DEI, DEI, call that wannabe DAI, DAI, yet another stablecoin in the crypto sphere. Both coins still have a quoted price of 1 according to data from Scream's dashboard, yet they're trading well below. FUSD fell to as low as 69 cents. It's supposed to be trading at 100 cents, $1. DEI fell to 52 at its lowest. So whales took advantage. They deposited large sums of these failing stablecoins, and then they pulled out Phantom USDT, the Tether version, Frax, DAI, MIM, and USDC, siphoned it off from the platform. Many users have deposits on these stablecoins, but they're unable to process the withdrawals from Scream because Scream is like, we're kind of upside down here, guys. That's a scary place to be. They've lost about 50% of the TVL, or total value locked, in their smart contracts. Devastating. Binance CEO CZ said that they never sold the 15.4 million Luna that basically cost them $3 million. It was worth as much as $1.6 billion. Okay, $3 million investment made into the Terra ecosystem. Rocketed up to $1.6 billion. I can't even fathom that much money, right? We're not talking millions, bud. We're talking billions of dollars. That's insane. At least to me. Maybe not. Maybe you're a big whale, but for me, I'm not quite there yet. So, yeah, that's great. 1.6 billion, and it's gone. Yeah, it's gone.
And it's gone.
It's so far gone that it's now worth $2,461. Let's talk a little bit about what happened. I'm sure you've been seeing everything flying across the screen. So this is basically a quick summary from years ago, right? This is a quick, just kind of glance overview by someone who has a decent understanding of this stuff, right? So Cyrus here goes, so unless I'm missing something, this project isn't going to work. Terra is like the maker model if the only collateral you could post to create DAI is maker token itself. Pretty sure posting maker as collateral to generate DAI is a terrible idea. So insert Terra in USD. Maker equals Terra, or the Luna token, and DAI here would be UST or Terra USD. Okay, so Terra suffers from the death spiral. Terra is the stablecoin, Luna is the collateral. If Terra were to fall and break the peg, then it would depend on Luna to save Terra, Terra USD. But Luna would fall as investors panic, and then Terra would continue to fall, and then they would just keep contributing to each other's demise. This is exactly what happened to Nubits. He said 3 years ago then. 3 years ago then, now 7 years ago. That's kind of crazy. Time flies. It stops for no man. So right now Luna is trading at microcents, and it is down 100% from its all-time high only about a month ago at $119, with someone so arrogant leading the charge that he was looking forward to seeing a bunch of projects crash and burn. Duquan, whatever. Hey bud, here, let's hear it from you directly.
I wonder how many of these companies you think are entering the space just because it's hot and there's a lot of funding versus the ones that will still be here, you know, like 2 to 5 years later.
95% are going to die.
Yeah.
95% are going to die. Yeah. Yeah, there's also entertainment in watching companies die too.
There's entertainment. Oh man, that's so evil. At least you get to learn from it, right?
But you ready to make this even crazier? If you somehow managed to buy the absolute bottom, you would be up 20,000%. While many people lose everything, you could be up 20,000%. But wait, there's more. Terra USD down 90% from its all-time high, yet still up 137 from its all-time low just 4 days ago. Okay, and there's been multiple price movements here. It can be fun trying to chase swings and stuff like this, but very quickly you can also get burned up and enter positions where you cannot recover. You trade in unstable markets where some exchanges might try to roll back your trades and many other things, or just simply cease trading. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. Okay, so the Luna Foundation Guard LFG, and that's not let's go. Okay, not in this market. As of Saturday, the Luna Foundation Guard held a reserve consisting of all of these coins. Well, congratulations, Luna dumped on you. Yeah, and everyone's cheering. I remember them cheering, thinking it was so cool. Oh, Luna's buying Bitcoin, boys. Shut up. What do you think they're going to do? When they're in trouble, they're going to dump them, and that's exactly what they did. All right, 80,000 Bitcoin. See you later. They've dumped almost all of these assets. Basically, when we come down here, look at all these numbers, big numbers, lots of money. We're talking billions of dollars, right? And then we come over here. As of now, the foundation's remaining reserves consist of the following: a whopping 300 Bitcoin. Okay, something we could strive to attain in our life still. Yeah, 40,000 BNB and a couple other coins, and yeah, UST. That's not a good number to have. Okay. Now let's talk about just how just turbo nuked you could be. Okay, you could be down bad. So 1,000 Luna, all right, when it was trading at $100, which was just like a week ago, a month ago, whatever. Okay, it would cost you about $100,000. The people who held those tokens turned $100,000 into 23 cents. Do you understand that? Like, unfortunately, some people have even taken their lives. This is so devastating. That is why you have to be so careful. Chasing 20% returns in this ecosystem. Somehow this coin is down 100%, yet it's still the 50th biggest cryptocurrency when ranked by CoinMarketCap per CoinGecko. Let's take the same metric with UST. $100,000 in there just a week or two, a month ago. You would have turned that into $10,000. Absolutely devastating. But at least you still have $10,000. Dude, you can't even buy a fucking McNugget with your 1,000 Luna, formerly worth 6 figures. Just like that, the allure of becoming so rich and having so much fun and getting easy returns with crypto, playing in the deep end in the wrong pool, you'll lose it all. It's you know, I'm like joking a little bit, but not really. This is pretty serious. This is why you have to be careful. This is why, like they say, it's not financial advice. This is why you can't be over leveraged. This is why you shouldn't be operating heavily on credit, especially with volatile things like this. Okay, but it gets even worse. It gets even worse. So, sorry, allergies killing me. It appears an inside job was allowed to be carried forth to bail out whales, all while the retail bag holders got, I like that word, it's accurate, incinerated. Okay, so holders of 2.7 billion in face value of UST were able to sell them for Bitcoin in 2 transactions, 32 grand and 35 grand. All right, UST price traded on secondary markets as low as 60 cents on the dollar. That's at that time. We just showed you it's trading at 10 cents on the dollar right now. Very interesting to see where that goes, but we're definitely dealing with a lot of money. Regulators are going to get involved. Lawsuits, obviously. Very interesting nonetheless. Luna is not hiding that they've sold this Bitcoin, obviously. But the manner in which this was conducted and to whom? Well, let's just say they're not using all the characters that you can put into a tweet. Speaking of tweets, follow your boy on Twitter, please. I'm begging you. Please. In other news, Jesse Powell, the CEO of early Bitcoin exchange Kraken, is not overflowing with love for government entities, to put it mildly. New York announced its controversial BitLicense regulatory framework for crypto in 2015. Powell immediately and permanently pulled Kraken out of the state, later referring to New York as that abusive, controlling ex you broke up with 3 years ago and they keep stalking you. He also added another ex to that list. He left the San Francisco headquarters. He used to live just a brisk 12-minute walk from the office of Soma, south of Market. He said every day it was like playing hopscotch over human feces, used needles, and guys with machetes. California is, in my opinion, from everything, a terrible state. And I'll leave it at that, but it's very interesting to see moves like this. It's why they say Austin, Texas is really the new tech incubator. See you later, California. You can keep your wonderful beaches and weather and everything else, because your local government ran your country into the ground. State. I meant to say state. NFTs have been cooling off, non-fungible tokens, but there's still a lot of exciting things taking place. Like Spotify starts trialing NFTs on its platform. So selected US-based users will be able to see the NFTs of some artists on the platform. This will link to an external marketplace, and NFTs will not be sold directly on Spotify. This really kind of started with their Web3 entry earlier this month with Spotify Island on Roblox. Taking a unique stance here, especially either due to regulation or like just the sheep public sentiment that they think NFTs equal bad and destroying the world because just simply put they're uneducated and just misled by propaganda. Either way, it's interesting. They're not going to sell NFTs directly. Users will have to tap through an external marketplace to make purchases. Super stoked and getting a little hungry because we are approaching pizza day, which is always a fun time. I hope to see some like fun promotions. I'm interested to see what all the big companies and whatever else in crypto will try to do. Maybe some like limited edition merch will be fun. I don't know. Maybe we should make a pizza t-shirt, right? And but yeah, your boy's definitely gonna be eating pizza that day. I might even spice it up and go to our our local joint where we get nicer New York style super big slices. I don't know if you've ever heard of Benny's Pizza, but basically a pizza box is like bigger than the freaking screen. It's crazy. But yeah, quick background here if you don't know. Laszlo offered 10,000 Bitcoin to anyone who'd be willing to order, collect, and bring him a pizza. Someone pointed out that he could get close to $41 for those Bitcoins on a certain exchange website, which priced Bitcoin at less than half a cent per coin. And just for fun and just for sadness, and everyone's always got to run the all-time high numbers, but just make sure you understand that he could have made around $690 million at all-time high. He could have bought 46 million large Papa John's pizzas at 15 apiece. I mean, shit. He could have a pretty good buy just into that franchise alone. So, hey, there you have it. Hope you enjoyed today's crypto news update and roundup. As always, we're keeping it real. We're keeping it live. Well, actually, it's not live. I recorded this. But here on the Voskcoin YouTube channel. Hope you liked the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We're chasing 1 million subscribers. And, I mean, I'll be honest. This is going to be a bit of a journey, and I need your help to get there. As always, thanks for watching. We upload daily, so I hope to see you tomorrow.